Welcome to my Bajerski YouTube channel. Welcome to another discussion topic on Moldavite. It was great of you guys to send me all your feedback and some really interesting comments that came in that you also had the same effect when you wear Moldavite or when it's on your partner, and the breathing is quite typical. I'm hearing more and more, and the conversation, or we call the Moldavite language, hopefully it'll catch on and people will then be confident enough to share their truth, because it can be difficult, when you've experienced something, or somebody close to you has experienced something and you've seen it. You're belittled, you're laughed at, you're mocked, and the fact I don't care what people think, and that's probably what makes me who I am right now, because I literally don't care what people think. If people are nasty and say nasty things, then yeah, of course it affects you a little bit, and you think, why are you just a scallywag? But for me, like, if somebody attacks my family, then you'll see a different side to me, and or friends who are kind and caring. Just don't be nasty. Just get yourself off. These are experiences that we all experience, and we all share our truth. And if we don't agree, then that's okay. We just say, well, I don't agree with that, or I can't see it myself. No problem. Nobody is asking you to see anything. Nobody's forcing you to believe anything. This is just my experience. So today we're going to go into depth into Moldavite through questions and answers. So let me give you what I have learned over the years, and I can only share my truth, and I can only tell you what I know. I will not give you any BS. I'll just tell you, look, I don't know. If I don't know, I have no issue in saying I don't know. That doesn't make me weak. It doesn't make me stupid. I feel happier and stronger when I say I don't know, and I'm open to suggestion. I'm open to other people's experience. I'm open to anything, really. But I have my own thoughts and feelings like you do, and there's nothing wrong with that, and we should all hold on to that, and we should protect that. But there's a difference when you're being a scallywag and you're saying nasty things and belittling people. Don't do that. Just go somewhere else. There's plenty of places for you to go. So let's get on with it, shall we? Moldavite. When you're wearing Moldavite, somebody great suggestion, great observation, great attunement. They suggested that when the Moldavite is placed on the third eye or on the body, that when your client is asleep, Mark, it sounds like channeling, and that's a very interesting thing, and to a degree, it is. What is channeling, first of all? Because there's different degrees of channeling. And what is channeling? What does it mean? Well, it means that you're open to receiving. So that means that as a healer, we are channels. So we're channeling. When you're sat down writing a book, you are channeling because you're receiving. Sometimes you're just using your brain and thinking about past. That's not channeling, that's using your brain. But sometimes you're just flowing. Where's it coming from? Okay. Now, somebody made a suggestion that channeling could be that you are opening up to receiving dark entities, walk-ins, and so on. I haven't experienced that. I have never experienced a walk-in when I'm doing a healing session. And the reason why, this is my understanding, is because I prepare the room to begin with. And when you sage the room, no darkness can come anywhere near that, but light can. So spirit, good spirit, kind spirit, loving spirit, spirit that is not entrapped in between two worlds because they're in a different frequency. But I'm talking about our family in the spirit world, friends who come to help with a healing session. I have never, ever, in my 20 years experience with thousands of clients working on them, never experienced anything like what's called walk-ins. I have no understanding of that, but I imagine you're saying that walk-ins and dark spirits would then take over the client and start to do crazy things. When Moldavite is on and the conversation starts, the blowing, which sounds quite aggressive to begin with, isn't in my opinion, any walking on negative dark spirit inside them. It's just, for me, I see and I'm feeling there's a deep cleansing taking place. There's a blowing out of clearing of negative energy. That's what I see Moldavite doing. Moldavite clears negative energy and heavy, dense trauma that needs to come out. So it's blowing it out. That's the first thing. So I don't see that as anything negative. Then the conversation comes. It's not dark. It's not heavy. It's just a conversation, and the frequency is completely different from. Let me just see. Somebody mentioned this. 2 or 3 people mentioned it. A thing called light language. Now, a few months ago, maybe a year ago, or half a year ago, somebody sent me a video on this girl doing light language. All I've got to say is this: I am very, very dubious about that when I see it, and I'm not 100% sure about that. I am going to stay on the fence with that. I think it's very beautiful. I believe the real light language to me is Dorota. Dorota is a lady from Poland, and when she sings, you can feel that frequency, and it's pitches, and it's healing pitches, and when she's doing it, she's channeling, and you can see it. To me, the light language is pretty much like, when I watched it and saw it, I originally thought it reminded me of Jim Carrey and the guy who was the anchor man going and it's like I personally couldn't channel it in. I couldn't feel it. I couldn't feel that healing from it. So that was just my interpretation. I've spoken to a few shamans about it as well, and some amazing channelers, and they've all actually said it's nonsense. But I am very open to saying that if it's done with love, then there is nothing wrong with it. But I don't believe that the light language is a language, and the reason why is because I didn't feel that anything was being said. It just feels like an energy, and it's a good energy, but I don't feel it's from the spirit world, and it's channeling. It doesn't feel like channeling to me. That's just my opinion. I could be completely bloody wrong, but I wouldn't stop somebody from doing it, because if they came here and they were doing pure energy healing and they started to sing and started to say that, I'd encourage them and say, does it feel good? Is it working? Is it helping the client when the client gets up? If it does, then it's fine. And I could say that for anybody who watches videos with people doing light language. If you feel better after it, then there's something in that. There must be something in that I haven't felt. Now, just because I'm a psychic and a healer and I've been doing it for 20 years doesn't mean that what I say is right or wrong. It's just my personal feeling. So there's certain music I love and other music I can't stand. I don't want to go near it. I don't like heavy metal, right? That doesn't mean there's anything wrong with it, because some people, really enjoy that music. So it's like light language to me, I don't get it. And I wish I could, but I don't. I've tried, and I've listened to 3 or 4 people, and I just think that this is, I can't put my finger on it. But there's a lot of new things happening, and people are becoming, they seem to be becoming extremely famous and doing really well. So there must be something in it that people are pulled by. So I would never disrespect anybody doing light language, but I'm telling you this as an absolute fact. This is nothing like language when Moldavite language is spoken. It's the furthest spectrum. The sound, the frequency, the energy, and what's being said, completely different. When you're listening to Moldavite language, it's almost like you're like, wow, this is intense, beautiful, and there's about 15 different emotions when you're listening to it. Where there's light language, it's kind of like, okay, it's like Yeah, it's a different frequency, it's a different energy. So they're different spectrums, they're different energies completely. So I hope that clears that up in my humble opinion. Maybe somebody can confirm that or disagree. Just on a final note, I am not disrespecting light language. I think anything that helps heal this world is beautiful. So keep shining, keep doing your amazing work, and maybe one day I will be proven that light language has some kind of pattern that people can feel, but maybe we're not meant to feel, maybe we're not meant to understand it. I don't know. Just like Moldavite language, I don't know. So if I don't know, I don't know. But I don't believe that walk-ins take place with Moldavite, even if you haven't cleansed yourself. I'm sorry, I just don't believe it. I don't buy into that at all. I just feel that Moldavite is an intense cleanser and clearer of the physical body in so many ways. So, Mount Shasta. What's the difference between Mount Shasta crystal and Moldavite? And that's a great question. And I've asked myself that while I was wearing it a few months ago. The only way I can describe it is that Mount Shasta energy, when I'm sat working with it in nature, it feels like I'm drawing in an energy of a kind of magic that is, I'm waiting for an extraterrestrial energy, something completely different, and it's really exciting. Mount Shasta makes me feel energetic. It makes my frequency feel really unusual, very different from Moldavite, very different. Mount Shasta is an incredible crystal to use when you want to attune to the it is the extraterrestrial energy, but it's different from Moldavite. It's different. It's a different frequency. So if I was to like try and break it down, Moldavite is something so unique to this, what I believe, once incredible planet that existed. I don't want to say too much because I don't want to spoil my book, but the planet that existed had beings on. The planet itself was connected to the beings, so it was like the trees were the beings and Mother Earth was feeding them. They were of what I tuned into over the years, was what I saw was beings being so beautiful and so they almost like glided. They glided, and their energy wasn't like skin. It was kind of see-through, but it was real. It was tangible. And the communication weren't words. They were psychically attuning, and they spoke to each other via this psychic attunement, this intuition. They were higher. They didn't eat. It wasn't food. Their energy fed from this planet. This planet had, let's say, was like our Mother Earth and gave them the answers, gave them the food, gave them the knowledge, and this was a very high frequency world that connected to everything. So everybody was kind of one. What happened to that planet, you'll have to read my book. But with Moldavite, when it's on you, you're getting a memory of what that planet was, those that lived on that planet. And when you hold it, you feel lifted off the ground, which I realized over the years that these beings of light floated and they lifted off the ground, but they were connected to the ground via energy. So a lot of people feel the elevation, the lifting off the ground from the spirit, because that's what they were. They were spirit. They weren't spacesuits. They were spirit. So when you place the Moldavite on you, that conversation is to take the take the intuition of animals that can speak to each other. If you take that and try and digest it and then let it come out of you, it can only come out in a language. So my understanding is that when we speak, we're speaking the language of these beings that didn't speak, because it was interacting with the whole of the planet, so they could interact, and that intuition comes through us when we wear it as a kind of language, but they didn't speak a language. This is where it becomes really complex. Mount Shasta is a crystal that I believe wholeheartedly has a frequency in it because of the magical or the magic or the energy of Mount Shasta. So you're taking that energy from the thousands of years of extraterrestrials coming to it and placing its energy in and magic into it. So it's a different, let's just say, the different frequencies because they come from different planets. So all planets are going to be different and they're all going to hold different frequencies. So that's the difference. However, they both work so well. But Moldavite to me has always been one that I've just become so familiar with that I understand it. And when I go into meditation, I know where I'm going to go. I know what's about to happen. And then I'm taken somewhere else that I'm shown things more and more and more. Mount Shasta doesn't give me that. Mount Shasta makes me excited, ready for what's going to happen. And I'm trying to invoke spirit to come to me. So when I'm outside, I'm holding it, calling extraterrestrial spirit to come, because we see extraterrestrials as the suits, but they're not. Inside is the spirit. So Moldavite, where it came from, the spirit were spirits. There was no spacesuit, they were just spirit. And then you've got the spirit world. So, it becomes really deep, really deep. Moldavite was 3 gigantic ships. I don't know, because when I meditate and sit with it right from the start, I saw a world. I didn't see ships. And when I looked up, I saw planets around me and I saw different things. And this wasn't like a shape of a ship. It was like a world. I could see a sea, which wasn't a sea. It was a different color of sea. And it was more transparent all the way through. You could see it, but it was like a liquid form. So the sand wasn't sand. It was almost like it was white and it was warm, and things changed and everything just, the frequency shifted to the consciousness of the people. So it was like growing, and that planet was alive, and it was changing frequency all the time. It was basically all about energy, and it was energy, but not dense like our energy. So I didn't see 3 ships. All I know is that Moldavite has been dug up. It's been stolen by Russian, the Russian military for a reason. Well, it wasn't stolen, but they did a complete dig and they took tons of it. Wonder why. Then we know about the ancient knowledge of Moldavite, and when we start looking deeper into Moldavite, we find out that many people have been making talismans with it. They've been making jewelry, they've been making crowns, they've been making staffs, they've been making wands, and it goes on and on and on. And I believe that the real knowledge, the real truth. I mean, people say, "Oh, we've moved forward now. We're progressing." No, we haven't. We're going backwards more than we've ever gone. We're getting things wrong. Science is a joke. It's an absolute ridiculous joke. We're going back. We're losing all the ancient knowledge. We're losing everything that healed us. We're no longer in touch with Mother Earth. We're all becoming sick. More and more because of what we're trusting in. We shouldn't be trusting in. We shouldn't. Mother Earth is what we should be trusting in, not the medical. Trust me, guys, we're becoming sicker every day. So go to, anyway, shut up, Matt, because you're going to go off on one. It's just that I'm getting so many messages of people who are sick now and their children who are sick. It's just unreal now. So this is the time that we need to heal, time that we need to get back to Mother Earth, time we need to find out who we are, why we're here, and what our purpose is. Moldavite helps us with that, without a doubt. Moldavite helps us. And for everybody who has their truth of Moldavite, I respect you, and I am not here to mock, ridicule, or say you're right or wrong. It's because all our interpretations could be completely wrong, because our interpretations are so limited to what we understand, and our words are so limited to what we feel when we meditate. It's unreal. So all I can say to you is this: Moldavite is an amazing crystal, and we are hearing more and more amazing stories from it. And there are some negative stories, but profoundly, monumentally, the stories of health, well-being, magic, healing, cleansing, protection, connection. You just go on and on and on. It outweighs some of the negative comments by 10,000. So Moldavite is an amazing crystal, and I think a lot of the times when people are moaning and saying negative things, I think a lot of them have got fake Moldavite. So I hope this serves you well. I hope you can answer and give me your feedback of how you're feeling with your Moldavite. I do have these. There's two things I want to share with you. The girls at work just said, look, Mark, let everybody know. These are about to go on the website. 3 of them, okay? And basically what they are is cleansing before you do work with Moldavite. And these sell all over the world. They're the second bestseller on my website. They sell all over the world. They contain Palo Santo. They contain a secret ingredients, as well as they've got frankincense in there, they've got sage in there, but most importantly, they've got Moldavite dust inside here. So that was a controversial topic a while ago, but now it's okay because I buy my Moldavite dust direct from people who cut them and make talismans from them. So I get the dust from there now. People were getting a bit upset when I was taking little chips and turning it into dust. So I don't know why, but it works amazing. So these sticks, you basically, I'll just take one out, comes like this, and they're slightly stronger or sturdier than the cleansing negative energy sticks. They are painted on Moldavite dust. These actually go into the mixture in Peru, so they become they're a little bit harder, and because there's sage in there and frankincense and a few other things that I like to keep to myself because this is my recipe and it works amazing. So these are called Awakening and Protection Incense Sticks with pure Moldavite dust, which is absolutely 100% true. They are created by the Peruvian families that work with the nature, and they don't rape the tree. They pick the bits. This is the double-edged sword with these. It's very difficult for me to get as many as I can because there's only so much they can pick, and it takes 3 months to make one batch. And because the Moldavite dust is expensive, they're not cheap. But they work amazing. So you take a stick and you use them in the correct way. And that is, you light the stick and then you go all around your body, up and down for 3 minutes. But if you go around your head for an extra minute, just around your head for a minute, and on your face, close your eyes, go around your face, and then put the stick out, and then begin your attunement with Moldavite. That then will open you up, it cleanses you and gets you ready, and the Moldavite dust does something to your energy. It's incredible how it works. So what I've decided to do is I'm selling, it's kind of like a special offer for maybe a week or two to introduce you to it. And it's 3 boxes, and they'll be sent to you by DHL. Okay, and I'll also discount them as well, so I'll do them as cheap as I can. Okay, still have to pay wages, and they do cost a lot of money because they've got Moldavite dust in them, and they've got the highest quality of frankincense. And you know who bought all the genuine and beautiful frankincense, right? That's right, that's the Catholic Church. Not stupid. And I also created the most beautiful sage, which comes from the Alpujarras and all natural, free from any pesticides. So that is ground in with it. So I created that and I sent that to Peru. And every time they create a batch for me, they take a certain amount and mix it in each batch of 100 sticks. So I'm very proud of that, and I'm very proud of these as I am proud of the Pure Energy Healing Cleansing Sticks. They are incredible, #1 seller. So on a final note, when we're talking about Moldavite, there are many people in the world that would love a genuine piece of Moldavite, but most people can't afford them. However, on my website, if you go to my website today and or any day up till this month, and you see a nice little crystal, any crystal at all, whether it's a Moldavite or any crystal, there's plenty of crystals which are my Pure Energy Healing crystals, and you're attuned to it, and you buy that crystal, your name will be put into a bowl, and at the end of the month, I am going to make a draw, and that draw, if I pull your name out, you will receive by DHL one of the most beautiful Moldavite Besanitze hedgehogs in the world. And this is what you will receive. It is literally mint. It is class AAA grade, which is, this should be in a museum. It has these pointers which are fabulous for working with when you're putting it on your third eye, or you're working with it in your palm, or you just rest it. These pointers are incredible. All these pointers, when you look under a glass, a spyglass, there isn't a mark on here, a chip, which makes it one of the most beautiful pieces in the world. So that there could be yours. So all you need to do is make a purchase of a crystal. And I'll also do this as well. If you end up buying this special offer for the next couple of weeks, I'll do the same thing. I'll leave it for the end of the month. I will also allow that, only that, and crystals to be one ticket to go into. So if you buy one set of these, you get one ticket. If you decide to buy 2 sets or 3 sets, each set will get you another ticket. So that's it. That's my gift. And it is probably one of my favourite Moldavites that I've ever handled. It's incredible. It really is. So that's it. That's my gift to you. And thank you for going to markbajerski.com and buying your authentic Moldavites. I hope you enjoy just even looking at markbajerski.com. I hope you enjoy the site, and you might feel better as well, because there's a lot of good energy in that site. And there's also a lot of free audios that you can listen to. There's three free audios you can listen to, which is Diary of an Accidental Psychic, Hold That Thought, and I think there's another introduction into something else. But anyway, go and have a look. I'll put the link below to the special offer, as well as Bajerski crystals, and then you can have a great look and see some beautiful pieces of Moldavite, including the Flame of Bohemia, which is one of the most precious Moldavites in the world. Okay, have a great day, guys. Love you all. Thank you so much.